Oh.
Starting the new year with another round of layoff notices. The Virginia Department of Transportation has entered the final round of job cuts to help reduce a $4.6 billion shortfall. Today through Friday, the agency is issuing layoff notices to 678 workers. 64 of those employees are in VDOT's Stanton district, which serves the Shenandoah Valley. 2 residency offices will be closed in the valley, one in Verona and one in Luray. And joining us now to discuss the VDOT layoffs is Jeff Caldwell, Chief of Communications of VDOT. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me on, Bob.
Now, Jeff, 64 layoffs will take place in the VDOT Stanton district. What positions will be affected?
We are working a plan to reduce our overall employment to a level of 7,500 full-time positions by July 1st of 2010. We're doing this in 3 stages. This third stage, which started today, impacts 3 main areas: our planning and investment, maintenance and operations, and business support. The employees in these areas are beginning to be notified today of the changes that will impact them moving forward.
Now, I understand that second part includes residencies. So in the valley, the Verona and Luray residencies will be closed. So if you're looking at 64 layoffs in the valley, are a lot of those coming from those residency positions?
We did announce last year that we would be consolidating 15 of our residencies statewide. And as you say, there are 2 in the Stanton district that are impacted by these changes. So among the employees that are receiving these layoff notices are the administrative and management folks at those 2 residencies. We will then work with them and every employee that is impacted by these layoffs to try to find placement opportunities elsewhere in the agency and try to match their skill sets with vacancies to which they may be eligible for. Only after that process is completed would employees actually be asked to leave the agency in the final layoff date, which is this April.
All right. Now, as far as those offices, are all those people from those offices leaving, or some of those positions will be merged to the other offices which will be handling what those offices did?
We are consolidating these residencies, which means some of the people might have an opportunity to move to a neighboring facility, and others might be identified to fill vacancies elsewhere in the agency. It's too soon to tell exactly what will happen to each one of these employees, but we did give them the initial notice of layoff today so that we can start that process of determining what options are available to them and giving them choices about their future.
Will the public in the Shenandoah Valley notice the changes that we're talking about today?
The public should not notice the changes that are coming from these layoffs, especially in terms of our frontline personnel. We are not cutting any of our emergency response or public safety staff. That means those folks that are out plowing snow, patching potholes, cleaning ditches, and making sure our roadways remain safe will not be impacted by these layoffs.
Well, there must be some impact, though, because, I mean, if you're letting 678 people go, or a lot of these positions for administrative, so the people that get paid through VDOT, the companies, the contractors maybe won't get paid as quickly, or that process won't happen as fast. I mean, there must be some impact, otherwise why were these people working in the first place?
Well, we are changing the way we do business here at VDOT, and we are changing a lot of the processes and procedures that we've used for some of our back-end processes for payroll, for procurement, for bill paying, and for the way we issue permits and things like that. So some folks will certainly see changes. Developers who normally work with their local residency office for land use permits, for example, will be working with staff in our district offices where we've consolidated some of those activities. Some of our receptionists and the folks that answer the phone and are there in the office obviously won't be there if these offices are consolidated.
Okay.
So we will change the way we operate. But from Joe Public, you won't see a whole lot of difference in the way you interact with VDOT.
All right. Jeff Caldwell, Chief of Communications for VDOT. I want to thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Bob.
And now let's send it to Mel.